This is David with Corel Training.
This is Cassie Green from Apparel.
This is Gordon and Firemark from the Entertainment Law Update.
And you're listening to
Two Regular Guys podcast.
Hosted by Terry Combs RG, a regular guy, and Aaron Montgomery.
The place to be for industry news.
the best dad jokes on earth, along with relevant topics to apparel decorating.
So pass it around.
All right, welcome into the show. It is Friday, August 25th, 2023, almost the end of summer. Can't believe it. I'm Terry Combs, and you can find me at terrycombs.com.
And I'm Aaron Montgomery, and you can find me over at oursuccessgroup.com. Today, Terry, we're going to have Abby Clarke with Transfer Express, and she's going to be joining us to talk about sales in apparel decoration. And you're going to gain a fresh perspective on industry insights that hopefully will enhance your approach to sales. So I'm excited to chat with Abby here today. Terry, we're end of summer. It feels like the start of summer here. It feels like I moved back to Arizona and added humidity. We're supposed to have 101 with a real feel of 116 today. So
my pool temperature is down to 85 degrees, Aaron. So yeah, fall's coming.
Yeah, all right. Good to hear.
Well, hey, everyone, make sure that you stay until the very end and get your helping of our new segment called Secret Sauce. So if you're if you ever felt like success is just out of reach, then this hot sauce is going to taste good. Stay tuned to find the missing piece that can turn your dreams into reality with our own Aaron Montgomery.
Yeah, I'm excited to share some secret sauce here today, Terry. But before we do that, we do have the new segment back here, and we've got Cassie Green, who you heard in the new intro. Todd says new intro suite. Yep, we got that going. We're going to have some new ones coming after now that we've got this one put together. So we're excited about that. So still bring those intros to us. But we've got Cassie here to join us to share the news. So you want to dive right into that, Terry?
Let's hear the news.
All right.
Hey guys, first of all, thanks for the reminder that summer's almost over. Definitely needed that this morning. Although I will say it's raining here and it's been a horrendous 100 degrees the last few days, so I'm kind of thankful for that. Let's get into some news. First headline I have for you guys today. SNS Activewear partners with Give Back Box for textile recycling program. Give Back Box, it operates as the logistical muscle behind many large retailer donation programs by connecting businesses with charities across the U.S. and abroad. So it's actually really cool. I got a chance to speak with someone at SNS about this program, and it sounds really neat. So according to their website, SNS website, this program is designed to provide a solution for textile waste in our industry. The company calls for people to donate items such as sample overflow, old or damaged inventory, displays, and everything in between. In addition to that, if you have old clothes to get rid of at home, those can be sent in as well. So this targets not only SNS customers, but pretty much everybody. The process is relatively simple. For US-based donators, visit their website, the SNS website, to download a prepaid shipping label. Once the recycled box is filled, attach the label, drop the box off at any UPS location. That's it. Boom, done. Great way to get rid of some old, damaged inventory, whatever you might have for scraps. Second headline for you guys today, Stalls announces the Q2 winners of its 2023 Dream Shop Package giveaway. So I love following along with the Stall Family Scholarship each year, just because it's really neat to see what all the different decorators around the industry, all the small businesses out there are doing. In case you haven't been keeping up, this year's just a little bit different. Stalls is awarding a total of 8 winners with a Dream Shop Package, which is a little bit different from previous years. 2 winners are selected each quarter, a small business and a school, to win the exclusive Dream Shop package valued at over $5,500. This is designed to empower entrepreneurs. So the second quarter winners this year, as part of the Stall Family Scholarship, include DC Everest High School and Spectrum Studios. So DC Everest High School offers a student-run custom apparel business called Everest Expressions, and they design press apparel for the school store and student organizations. So really cool program there. And then on the small business side, Spectrum Studio is doing something that is pretty special and personal to me and Apparelist. We do a lot of work in those with differing abilities space. So Spectrum Studio's mission is to provide employment, on-the-job training, and growth opportunities to young adults on the autism spectrum. The goal is to bridge the gap between those who have aged out of high school and lost years of programs, guidance, and direction. So, in my opinion, two very deserving winners. Final headline I have for you guys today: Campus Inc. makes Inc. 5000 list for a third time. So Campus Inc. was named to the list this year. Like I said, third time they've done it. For those who are not familiar with Inc. 5000, this is the publication's annual list of the fastest growing private companies in America. So this year, Campus Inc. came in at 4,176. The company is super grateful to add yet another benchmark to its tremendous growth over the years. Ooh, say that 10 times fast. I actually spoke with Stephen Farrig, the CEO at Campus Inc. about this, just because it's a really exciting thing for them. So the first time the company made the list was in 2018. And when I spoke with Stephen about it, he just had so many wonderful things to say about his team at Campus Inc. He said, and I quote, "It's less for me and more for our team to be able to see all their hard work come to fruition. I have the best team in the world and they deserve all the credit." So, big round of applause for the team at Campus Inc. Cool journey it's been for them. They've got explosive growth in the nil space. Mark Cuban invested in them. They made this prestigious list. So congrats. It's everything I got for you guys this week. Back to you.
All right, look at Cassie bringing the feel-good news today.
Yeah, thank you, Cassie. Really good stuff and wonderful as usual. So thank you for sharing all of that stuff. Yeah, everything a really good. It's kind of one of the reasons why I consider our industry to be Hotel California, Terry, is that it's the people, man. It really is the people, right?
People.
It's just a t-shirt, but you know what? It's not just a t-shirt, right? It can be so much more. And people like this are making it that way. So anyhow, Terry, let's talk to some of the regulators that are tuned in live here real quick and just say good morning to them while we've got them for a moment before we get into the rest of the show here with Abby. But yeah, so way early on, we had Chuck checking in this morning. Good morning to Chuck, and good morning to Cindy. And good morning to Jerry and Ramona. And Jerry is looking forward to the topic. I am as well. So looking forward to that. We've got Barb tuning in from Minnesota Custom Made. So love it. And then the other thing I wanted to just really mention real quick here, Terry, is not only does Eric keep the wheels on the bus going round and round, but he's also got all the comments in there. So all of these things that are talked about in the news segments and things like that, all you got to do is just click on it right there while you're watching and listening. So thank you, Eric. And we've got Rena. Good morning. Who else we got here? Man, lots of comments there, folks. Good job. Good morning, boys. Thank you. There we go. Kim Johnson. I think you know her.
Yeah. She's around here somewhere.
Okay. Barb says, I like the idea of recycle and reuse. Yeah, that's a interesting program. I didn't, this is the first time I've heard about this program. So definitely want to go check out that, what is it called? The Give Back Box.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. Well, we've got everybody checking in. Oh, cool. Barb says she received my book. Looking forward to reading it. So awesome. Cool.
Very cool.
Well, thanks to all the regulators for checking in. But Terry, you've got a little housekeeping you got to do for us to clean up the mess that I left behind. So,
are you going to do your dad joke first, or?
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, see, you're cleaning up my mess already. See, I'm out of order.
All right. The outline. I'm a by the rules guy.
Is that really true, though? Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Well, let's do it. Let's hit the dad joke, Eric. All right, Terry, did you know that a frog can actually jump higher than the Eiffel Tower?
I did not know that, Aaron.
Yeah, the Eiffel Tower can't jump.
Boy, that's a dad joke. That
Thank
sounds like a
you.
Lewis joke.
Exactly. Thank you to my 12-year-old son, Lewis. He brought that one courtesy a couple weeks ago, and had to make sure we got it here on the Two Regular Guys. So, all right.
Hey, I was thinking we should do sometimes when we have a cocktail party again, bring out some of our after hours dad jokes, the ones that I send you guys and say, but we can't do this on the air. We should make a new list.
There may or may not be a whole list of those. So
all right. But before we dive in, we want to thank everybody for checking out the Two Regular Guys podcast. We need your voices. We want to do some more of those intros that you heard this morning. We'd love to have the regulators participate with show intros. Go to decorators.inc./intro and just read a few sentences to be a part of every show. We are also looking for new guests. If you or anyone you know would like to join us, go to calendly.com/2 regular guys to book a future episode, or email info@2regularguys.com with your show ideas. If you are listening to the podcast version of the show, we would appreciate you sharing the Two Regular Guys podcast with all of your industry friends so they can become regulators too. And we would also appreciate you giving us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcast, YouTube Podcast, wherever you do your podcast listening. We are there. And if you're watching us live right now, please join in with your comments and your questions.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, speaking of joining us, Terry, are you ready to bring Abby in here and get into?
Absolutely. Let's get started.
Awesome. Okay. Well, Eric, can you bring on Abby? Abby, welcome into the show. Thank you so much for being here with us. Now, we've kind of gone away. We used to let's read the nice bio and your perfect world here, but we've kind of gotten away from
right
that.
Up your resume.
Exactly. So instead, we always like to kind of talk to people about, hey, tell us a little bit about your journey in the apparel industry, how you've developed this passion for sales. Kind of give us the Abby 101, so to speak.
Yeah. So first thing I want to say is thank you guys for having me today. This is a really cool opportunity. I am an avid podcast listener, but being on a podcast is definitely different. So this is a fun experience. And I've worked with both of you relatively closely. So this is fun to kind of connect the dots. As far as my journey into apparel decorating, it was kind of interesting. I was a camp counselor actually when I first graduated in 2018. And one of the field trips that we took the kids on was to Transfer Express, and we decorated our t-shirts and for the camp, and we got a tour and we got to meet everybody. And then a few months later, I went off to college, did the college student thing for a while. And my family, after my sister graduated high school, we had moved. And so I thought, it's time to look for a new job and, get back out there and whatnot. So I saw a posting for Transfer Express, and I applied because I had been there before and I knew that they were good people. And so I started in customer service, I'm going to say in January of 21, and I was there for about 10 months. And then Group Stalls, so Group Stalls owns Transfer Express. Yeah. They were hiring for sales, and sales has been in my family for years. My dad was in sales. My grandpa was in sales. So sales was kind of ingrained in me from the moment I was born. So Definitely trying to get into the sales industry and, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I love the story about that. You took a field trip there with your camp. That's super cool. I did not know that.
Well, I did a webinar yesterday with Dane and Aaron from Stalls as well. So it's Stalls weeks for me.
It really is. Yeah. And then you guys were talking about the Dream Shop packages, which are a great opportunity for everybody. And I love this company. I love what we do. It's always something different. It's always fun.
Super. Well, hey, so what aspect of the industry have you found most fascinating during your experience?
That's a loaded question, Terry, because it really could be anything.
Two regular guys, maybe? No, it's okay.
I think if I had to pick a couple, I would probably say the first thing is that it is what you make of it. And, if you want to be a crafter, if you want to be a graphic designer or a business owner, you can wear so many different hats. And I have a lot of customers that do that. I have customers that are business owners, but graphic designers, production people. It really is what you make of it. And then I would say the other thing is that it is such a creative industry as well, that you're not able to just create things on the art aspect, but you're able to come up with so many different things. Skip Davis, he loves creating his own patches. And that's one of those things that not everybody thinks of. And so being able to kind of play around with the different technologies out there, that's incredible. And I think that this industry is just endless. Sorry, my cat's wants to join in.
That's fine.
Well, he probably will. But no, I think that's probably one of my favorite things, though, is that it's constantly evolving, and it's never ending for sure. So that would probably be my favorite thing.
Huh. That is really fascinating.
I have a dog right here next to me. That
I was going to say, he's probably freaking out right now.
Well, that is, I mean, what a great perspective, because I think sometimes we might actually lose sight of that, right? You can be kind of whatever you want. There's so many opportunities. And on top of that, it's such a creative space. And because that's always been an interesting concept to me. I'm not a designer, right? I have no artistic talents, but I still consider myself to be very creative, right? A lot of my creativity is around problem solving, but our industry allows you to kind of go and figure those things out. And so I love that you shared, it's what you make of it. You can be what you want, and this industry will give you that opportunity. So thank you for sharing that. Okay. So you talked about the fact that you have a background, right, in the family background in sales, and it seems, based on your track record here and how well you've done in a short amount of time in this industry here, that you know what sales is all about. I think it's probably a little bit about listening for what your customers are telling you. Does that sound about right? Okay, good. I'm on the right track here. So I guess a couple questions as related to that. How do you what allows you to kind of have that open listening for that? And then how can you take what you learn and hear and incorporate that into your approach with how you interact in sales or your customer engagement experiences? So kind of give us how that might look and how people can develop that a little bit better.
Sure. So when I first started in sales, one of the biggest things that I was told was sales is 80 to 90% listening, and it's active listening. So, not just listening to the parts that you want to hear, but the parts that you don't want to hear, really getting in and developing those relationships is really important to me. So, I love to get on an initial call with a customer and really just learn everything that I possibly can. Let my curiosity fly as far as it can, because especially when you're on a call, you're not in person. So you don't know what their shop looks like. You don't know what their operation looks like. So you really have to ask those hard-hitting questions and get them to open up a little bit. And I think in turn, asking those questions builds trust between you two, because they'll know like you're interested in what they're doing. And so when that develops trust, you're able to continue to build on that relationship, and it just keeps the flow of things, I should say. So I would say that just, active listening, and then also just having solutions, not necessarily products, because between Stalls and Transfer Express, we have products for everything. I mean, we have products that even I, don't use that often, just because there's so many. So we definitely have a solution for everything, but, not every product fits everybody's need, it fits everybody's whatever design that they have for their business. So I think it's really important that you're listening to what they're saying and apply it back there, not just going in thinking that you're going to have one product for them and then that's the only thing that you're going to focus on. You want to focus on what they have and then go from there.
Yeah.
That's really, really insightful. Yeah. Love that.
I have a correction, by the way. I don't know why I said I did a webinar with Dane and Aaron. It's Dane and Kelly up in Overland Park, Kansas, where I used to live.
So I don't remember any webinar, but okay.
But it was really good. So you should go listen to it. It's all about Photoshop and DTF printing.
I was going to say, that's Dane's forte right there. When it comes to graphic art, that's Dane.
Yeah, Jay Bassell was hosting, and he accidentally said Dane was going to be working at Illustrator, and Dane's like, Illustrator? No, Photoshop. All things must be Photoshop. But along the lines of what you're talking about here, talk about some strategies you found effective in building that meaningful relationship with your clients.
Yeah. So it really goes back to finding the solutions for any of their issues, really understanding what their needs are. I think what's really important too is understanding what their business is and why they're decorating. So, anybody can decorate for whoever, you can decorate for a school, you can decorate for sports, but why are you doing it? And then really understanding that niche that they have and the pain points that they have, I think really in turn, just it's overall relationship building. It's much more than just product to customer, it's relationship building. And so when they're able to understand that I'm here to assist in whatever decorating needs that they have, I think it helps a little bit. I think they're able to say, you know what, this is a relationship that I have. This isn't just like a telemarketer, 1-800 number that they're able to call, for whatever. They're actually able to call and talk to me and understand that I'm here in whatever capacity that they need when it comes to that. So I think a lot of it is just building trust and just, small conversations, really catered to them specifically. If I'm working with a school, I'm not going to send them an article on decorating for, I don't know, cheerlead for like churches or something, or like a roller skater rink. I'm not gonna send them that because that doesn't make sense. So things that are really catered to that specific audience is really important.
Yeah.
This is true for any of us, and a lot of business owners don't think of themselves as sales reps, but we all are. We right. on some level, and getting to know your customers and getting to that why is so critically important. That person who calls up and says, "Hey, I want to buy some T-shirts." There's more to that conversation than how many do you want?
Right. Yeah. I always joke that I've been in some sort of capacity of sales, because even if my title wasn't directly in sales, there's probably a ton of people that can speak to this that are watching this at Kent State, because Kent State is like, they all know, like I was always, in some sort of, recruiting or tours or something with like a sales environment. So I was definitely doing a lot of sales like jobs well before I was actually in the title of sales. So yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. I see Jay Bassell is in the comments there, and we have two people being trained in technical support this week in our Tempe, Arizona office. And Jay said to them, what you do, what you learn here is critically important to the sales process. And I thought that's kind of profound, but absolutely, every component of the company impacts the sales process.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to take a break in just one quick second here. I want to share something real quick, but can you also break something down for me though? This thought that you shared about solutions, right? You mentioned products and then you mentioned solutions. And I believe that sometimes we get so ingrained in what we do, right? We love all of our toys. We love all of the creativity, I can do this many colors, or this vinyl is awesome, or this transfer is great, right? And that kind of thing. We get so wrapped up in that. And so we kind of think that that's the solution, but to our customers, a solution is a different thing. Can you maybe explain that a little bit for folks real quick?
Sure. So when we talk about products as solutions, it really comes down to their pain points. So it may not necessarily be a product. It may necessarily just be a new process. So like, for example, if I had a customer who said, I really don't want to do my own shirts, but I want to do smaller quantities of shirts. We have a decorating fulfillment center that they could go to and have, larger quantities of their jobs produced. So it really comes down to what is their current process. Maybe it's not necessarily getting rid of embroidery, but their pain point is my embroidery turn times are 2 to 3 weeks out. Okay, how do we fix that? How do we make that better? So maybe not necessarily reinventing the wheel with a totally new product, wiping out embroidery, but to aid in that process, we may implement things like applique or embroidered patches or something that can assist in those jobs. And so, again, not reinventing the wheel, but assist in that process that they currently are doing to make things easier for them. Because that's really what I want to do, is make their process easier, smoother, whatever it is, whatever those pain points are that they have, and meet those accordingly.
Yeah. So that kind of in a way goes back to what you talked about at the onset of active listening, because you can't understand what their problems are if you're not actively listening first. And like you said, the sales process is 80% listening as opposed to talking like Terry and I do too much. So, all right. Well, real quick here, let's, Jay does say, good job, Terry. Kelly won't be upset at all. And Megan Brio says, I second this. And Jay,
hey Megan, there's my.
I was gonna say, where's Meg?
There's my longtime friend at the Transfer Express.
Yes, that's my Meg.
And Jay says, I saw problems like this blank for business and people like blank. Right? Yeah. So good stuff. All right. So, and then Rena says, Abby gives me so much hope for our next generation. Yeah.
Thank you. So sweet.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, let's take a real quick break here. I do want to share about my book real quick, and then we can come back and we got more great questions for Abby. So let's take that break, Eric.
Hi, I'm Lewis Montgomery. I want to tell you all about my dad's new book, The Fundamentals of Business Success. He wrote it to help small business owners like you fall in love with your business.
Hey, thank you, Lewis. Yes, that's right. I was just tired of watching these small businesses be overwhelmed, just struggling, and ultimately underpaid because they just didn't have a strong foundation to build off of. They were trying to create their business the way somebody else created their business, and they were never going to catch up.
It's not just about making money. It's about having fun and building something you're truly passionate about. My dad's new book breaks down everything into a 13-step cycle with plenty of practical applications so you can start taking action right away. Grab your copy at OurSuccessGroup.com/FBS book. Whether you're just starting out or looking to spice things up in your current business, this book will become your guide. Don't miss out on your chance to get this book at the introductory price, only available at OurSuccessGroup.com/FBS book.
All right.
Good job, Lewis. And you too, Aaron.
Does Lewis need a sales job? Because
I think he does. So if you're hiring, Abby, we'll send his resume on up.
Yeah, but, the minute that we are, we may have to talk about that.
That's right. Awesome.
That was good. And then I won't be the youngest on the team either. That would.
Can you hire 12-year-olds though? I'm not sure how that works, right?
We may have to rework a couple of things. I'll talk to Meg. I'll talk to Meg.
All right, yeah, Megan, we'll be in. I honestly just like sharing that because I am super proud of him. So thank you guys for allowing me to do that. And then Jerry earlier and Barb actually earlier said that they did pick up my book last week, and so they've gotten their copies. I autographed, quote unquote autographed. I just sent them a little note of thanks, really, not an autograph. But all right. Well, let's get back into this, Abby. So I'm like a little bit blown away here. We're almost 30 minutes into our show, and we really haven't talked about education much yet, which is really crazy for Terry and I. But no, just kidding. So talk to us about that, though. How does, how do you see yourself as an educator, and how does that play a role in the success of sales for folks?
Yeah, I think, it really goes back to, kind of bridging a gap between the company and the customers. We're kind of on the front line, so to speak. And so it's really important to understand the products and what we're able to offer them, and then apply those accordingly as we talked about before with their process. So for me, I would say education is probably 50 to 60% part of what we do, because if you don't have the knowledge and you don't have the education, what are you going to talk about? Other than them, you can talk about their business and what they're doing. But if you don't have the knowledge to be able to provide them anything, where's the value? So I think it really goes back to understanding our products and understanding the solutions that we offer, and then explaining the value that it fits to them. So not every product, every solution, whatever it is going to work for everybody. So being able to tailor those pieces of education is really important.
You know, I think also that that customers really appreciate when you say, you know, what you're wanting to buy here, I don't think this is applicable to what you want to do. And you know, I've had many customers come back and say, you know, I really appreciate you telling me that maybe you should go a different direction. And sometimes it's not with me. Sometimes it's, I think this is better suited to what you want to do. And 5 years later, that customer comes back and says, you know, I never forgot that. And now I'm ready to buy this. So, you know, I think that's important.
I've had that a few times now. Yep. I've had, it's very common with like a craft market. Like when people are coming out of the craft market to get into a business, sometimes there's a little bit of, you know, hesitation with, you know, getting into new equipment or something. And I say, look, this might not be the right thing for you. Let's try something smaller, maybe. You know, let's go from, you know, maybe not a Tahoe, but maybe like an Equinox. Like, let's take it down. You know, if we're going, you know, if we're upgrading from a little tiny 4-door sedan, let's not go maybe Tahoe. Let's go like
right.
Yeah. Well, and that's so interesting too, because, you know, from the education, if you think about that in sales, the idea is, you know, I want to get an order. What can we get? But the reality is, as a salesperson, I think the more you give, the more you actually end up getting, and education, knowledge is part of that. Telling people the truth when, you know what, this doesn't actually feel like the right thing for you, right? But as a salesperson, you got to be confident enough to go, you know what, I'd rather do the right thing than just take this person's money and you know, 'cause that's what keeps you around for a long time, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
No, I tell people all the time, I go, look, I don't want you to buy this and then call me in 6 months and tell me that it's, you know, broken or you're not using it or whatever. I would rather.
Why did you tell me this?
Right. Why didn't we go this route? Well, you know, there's a bigger, you know, I see the bigger picture sometimes. And so I like to be like their voice of reason almost.
Yeah, sales is definitely a long game, not a short game. So, but hey, let's talk a little bit about trends. What trends do you see in the future of sales and apparel decorating? We're giving you these high level 30,000 foot questions today.
Hey, listen, I'm just happy to be able to answer them. Luckily I have the answers, hopefully. Nobody throw eggs at my house if I don't. But one common thing that I'm seeing now is printing on demand. Printing on demand is huge in this industry, whether it's direct to film or transfers or, you know, everything. Everybody wants everything Amazon primed next day, same day, you know, all of that. So I definitely think that print on demand is going to be the biggest hot topic for the industry right now. And then just, you know, overall, I think a lot of evolving processes, maybe not necessarily getting rid of them, but I've noticed a lot of people, like, for example, they're moving from screen printing to heat printing. So not necessarily getting away, you know, being done with screen printing, but just, you know, kind of shifting and pivoting a little bit is what I've been seeing a lot of, is people just, you know, still decorating, but just pivoting what they're doing and maybe improving it a little bit, whether it's because of turn times or cost or you know, supply chain shortages, things like that.
Well, you know, and you're exactly correct. And my screen printing classes are still full every time I do one. But now I also talk about, you know, you need DTG, you need DTF, you need some way to do short run orders for your customers, because, you know, we've talked about it here on the show before, that sales of garment decorating is going up dollar wise. The size of the orders is going down. So, you know, as you said, screen printing is not going away, but you need some options. So whether that's ordering transfers from Transfer Express or, you know, some other method to do those shorter runs.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a really interesting point too, right? Where this goes back to somewhat, to being solution oriented in your sales process, right, is understanding what those trends are, understanding that, as Abby said, print on demand and just in time type programs, right? Where, as Terry mentioned, nobody's going to place these huge orders and keep it on their shelves. They want to, kind of more fast turnaround. So that's interesting. And I love the fact that we do get to ask somebody like Abby these 3,000 foot view questions, because we get a new perspective, not just two old guys. We get a young, fresh perspective on this, and I love that. So,
well, and somebody who talks to customers every single day,
every day,
talks
absolutely.
to those people out there decorating. That's, sometimes we get a little far away from that, and we need that perspective.
Yeah. This has been fantastic. So, okay, let's talk about newcomers here, right? So I imagine in your role, you do get to talk to quite a few newcomers to the industry. What advice would you give somebody that's kind of new to this industry and wants to succeed as an apparel decorator?
Sure. So the first thing, because I'm from Stalls, I have to say, invest in a good quality heat press. It's worth 100%. It. Invest in a good quality
We're
heat
not
press.
from Stalls, and we say that too. So
that's fair. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, now I've got my advertisement out of the way. I would say find the type of decoration that you're comfortable with, that you feel the most connected to, and then find your niche. So wherever you want to decorate, kind of isolate that down and then educate yourself from there. I think a lot of times when people say, I want to do t-shirts, they YouTube how to do t-shirts, how to create t-shirts. And it's direct to film, it's screen print, it's embroidery, it's transfers, it's vinyl, it's everything. And it's super overwhelming. And I think that turns people off. So I think finding your type of decorating and then your niche from there of who you want to decorate for is going to be really important. And then you can educate yourself from there, and then, give it time, to develop those skills and get your footing from under you. And then from there, if you want to incorporate things like embroidery or, screen printing, whatever it is, my boss always says, give it 6 months and then give it 6 more months. And it's so true, because you give it 6 months into a business and then you give it 6 more and you just keep going and going and going, and things will develop eventually, for sure.
I love it. It's interesting. And David Haynes just said that don't go and buy a bunch of equipment if you don't have the business to justify it. Sub it out until it makes sense. And gosh, I at shows, I'll talk to people who say, well, I just ordered some embroidery equipment and I need to buy one of these sublimation printers and I think I'm going to get a cutter. And I'm like, slow down, because, every time you talk to those folks, a year later, you see them again and they haven't mastered any of them. It's just,
yes. Find one thing, stick with that. Go from there. No matter what it is. And people, I think it's funny because, as I represent Stalls and Transfer Express, I think a lot of people feel like they can't tell me if they don't offer heat printing. But for me, I want to learn about everybody's business and no two businesses are the same, I found. So just learning about their process and maybe why aren't they doing heat printing? Is that something that they want to get into is super important to me, because I want to know. I like feedback, good, bad, ugly. I don't care. I just like feedback. So being able to understand why they're not into heat printing or maybe why they don't do it as much. I got to tell you guys, I've had that same conversation, Terry, where somebody comes and they say, oh, I bought, this machine and this machine and I don't ever use it. I had one guy who bought a DTF printer and it sat in a box and it just sat in a box. Yeah. It just sat there.
Mm-hmm. Back when Aaron and I worked together at US Screen, I had somebody call up and say, hey, how much is it to renew the warranty on my T-Jet? And as we're talking, they volunteered the fact that, well, I need to buy a new warranty because I haven't taken it out of the box yet. So they spent $16,000 and a year ago and never took it out of the box. I'm thinking, you must have way more money than I do.
Way more money than sense, maybe. But
Right.
so Barb also shared having an option for outsourcing has been a game changer for me. I don't do screen printing and don't plan to start, but I can offer it because I can order screen print transfers. So that's Yep. All right. Well, where are we at here, Terry? I'm way off course as usual.
We're at the point where Abby, where can the regulators connect with you? And Abby's frozen.
So me directly, I just me directly. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So directly, you can reach me on Instagram. It's just the Abby Clarke. Or LinkedIn and Facebook as well. Just my name. And then Stalls and Transfer Express both have Instagrams, Facebooks, and YouTube channels. They also have Facebook groups. So if you're looking to connect with actual decorators and understand a little bit more about either Stalls, Transfer Express, or just decorating in general, I highly suggest joining those Facebook groups. It's free. But yeah, each one under the Stalls and Transfer Express Facebook pages have groups. So definitely go check those out.
Awesome.
You know, the amount of education that the Greater Stalls group offers is just incredible. And you know, if you, just like you said, if you're not a part of that, join in, because there's some tremendous education out there that is absolutely free. So take advantage of it.
Yeah. And just real quick, if you are a podcast listener and you're looking for Abby, make sure that you get the E at the end of Clarke. So it's ABBYCLARKE.
Yes.
So
the way that you can remember it is E in the last name, not the first, because everybody puts E in the first name and not my last. So.
All right. I love it. Okay. Well, Abby, to kind of get you out of here, I want to ask another quick question. This is more just a question about you, right? You've obviously been growing your presence in the space here. I love the shares that you do on LinkedIn and on social media and stuff like that. We so have appreciated you spending some time with us here. So you're doing some contributing outside of your sales role there. What's your goal? Why is that important to you?
My goal is to make everybody $1 million. That's the hope, right? I'd love to make everybody $1 million. No, I really just want to bridge the gap between companies and customers. I want everybody to know that they are getting a quality product from us, but then also I want to have the companies understand that these are people's jobs. This isn't like a sweatshirt or whatever. It's not just a t-shirt. It's somebody's business that puts food on the table. So my job is just to be able to educate on both ends and be able to really bridge that gap. I love what I do. I love my customers. I think they're awesome. And so I just really want to keep it growing.
Yeah. It's so important. And I think that maybe a really kind of missing piece for a lot of people. As Terry mentioned, we don't always realize as business owners, or, even if your role is specifically as the sales part of that business, how important it is for the customers to trust us, to know, like, and trust us. And a lot of that comes from you doing things that shows that you actually care about their success, right? And educating, sharing what you know, contributing, and things like that can go a really long way in building that trust. And so as somebody that maybe is a small business owner that forgets that they're also a salesperson, how are you going out there and sharing in the world to help people, know, like, and trust you more? I think can be really huge for folks. So, Abby, any last nuggets that you want to leave our regulators with here?
Just, keep asking questions, keep trying to educate yourself, reach out if you need help. Everybody starts somewhere. I have customers that have been doing this for 30 to 40 years and they're still learning. This industry is constantly moving. It's constantly evolving. So you're not alone. Don't feel like you have to learn everything tomorrow. And call your sales rep back, because they probably want to talk to you. So
not just to sell you something. They're going to give
not just to sell you something. No, we just want to talk.
Yeah, I love it. Abby, so good. Thank you so much for your time here today.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Awesome.
Thanks,
Bye, Abby.
We'll see you soon. Awesome.
All
That
right,
was really
Terry.
good.
Yeah, totally good. All right. Well, so as we close out here, what's on your big book of travel here today?
Well, I am going to be doing my complete screen printing business course at Workhorse Products here in Phoenix, September 23rd and 24th. By the way, if you're going to the Fort Worth Impressions Expo, Workhorse Products is giving away 2 free passes to that class. So go and put your name on a sheet of paper and drop it in the box to see who gets to come to the class for free. I'm going to be back in Chicago with Atlas Screen Supply November 4th and 5th. At Impressions Expo Fort Worth, as I mentioned, and I'll be seeing both Aaron and Eric there. I'm going to be offering everything you've heard about DTG printing on the internet is wrong. And of course, I always have to amend that in the class because someone goes, hey, I saw you on the internet. So almost everything that you've heard about DTG printing and DTF printing on the internet is wrong. I'm also going to be moderating a panel with Mel Lay, Stan Banks, and Zach Acorn, which is going to be a lot of fun. Those guys are tremendous entrepreneurs, and it's a 3-hour session. I jump in the last 30 minutes and do a panel with them, and we did it in Atlantic City. It was really, really cool. So
cool.
Watch for all my upcoming events at terrycombs.com. How about you, Aaron?
Yeah, you mentioned Impressions Expo out there, and I'm getting super excited about that. That's coming up pretty quick here. Yeah, September 13th. I can't believe how close that is. But
unbelievable.
Yeah. So September 13th is the day before the show, and I get to be part of a full day workshop. It's called the ABCs: Design, Print, and Market, and it's going to be it's a group effort with good friends over at Apparel Trainer, David Haynes, Clay, AJ. We'll probably have the whole crew there. Plus, you get the whole crew from the Magic Touch, Joseph, and then they're also bringing Creo along, and so lots of great people. And then they get to drag me along too, so I get to be the business guy. Here's yes, all of these tools are great. Yes, you have an awesome design, but
now
it doesn't
what?
work if we don't. Yeah, now what? Yeah, exactly. So I'm the now what. So I'm getting really excited about that. We've been talking a lot about structure and all that stuff, and just kind of continuing to fine tune it. And I think it's going to be a great workshop, really worthwhile. So go to osg.link/ABCs and check that out. And then the other thing coming up here, just the week when I come back from that, is we kick off our 5 Keys of Marketing workshop. It's been an extremely popular program throughout the years for our success group, and that is happening September 18th through the 22nd. And the idea is we're going to help you build a 12-week roadmap and marketing plan that is catered to your business. And if you notice the dates of this, if you kick that off in October, guess what's happening? Fourth quarter, right? And so it's a really cool opportunity for people to come and get. There's a full workbook, lots of support, and all good information to build a marketing plan for your business, not based on what's worked for somebody else. So we're excited to offer that. It is something that's part of our Success Group memberships, but because it's been so popular, we have decided to also offer that as a standalone opportunity. And so for only $79, you can sign up at oursuccessgroup.com/the 5 Keys of Marketing. And then last but not least, you heard it from Lewis earlier, and Ramona even said in a comment before that it's a really good read and she's enjoying it. So I really appreciate that feedback. But I'm excited to start getting that Fundamentals of Business Success book out there, and you can check it out and pre-order. The print copies that people have been getting are just temporary, so they'll get another print copy when those are actually published. But the ebook is also available if you want to just check out the e version of it. So not e-rich version of it, but I'm in trouble.
Ouch.
All right. Is my mic still on? But no, oursuccessgroup.com/FBS books. So that's what I've got happening.
Every time you say ABCs, the way my brain works, I have the Jackson 5 going on in my head. ABC, ECS 1, 2, 3.
Oh my gosh. So now I'm going to have that. Thank you, Terry. That.
Yeah, little earworm. Thanks to everybody out there for having that in their brains all day today.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, would you share what Eric's got happening?
The take up number 166 today. It's Q&A plus alignment, arrangement, grouping, and breaking in machine embroidery designs. In this episode, we'll talk about alignment, arrangement, grouping, and breaking up designs, both as software functions as well as discussing choice we make when working with placement, balance, and tension in our designs on garment placement. Eric writes some long sentences, man. Head over to ericcampbell.com and click the Take Up tab at the top for links. Join live at 2:30 Mountain Daylight Time every Friday to share the insights. See Eric at Impressions Expo Fort Worth as well for presenting embroidery's value proposition. And of course, Aaron, we're going to be doing the show from Fort Worth as well.
Yeah. So we're still kind of figuring out the details of that, but there's an opportunity that we actually may be right at the live normal time on Friday, but we'll be in Fort Worth. So stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to. It's been a little while since I got to hang out with you guys, so getting to see you guys in person, not in purpose, is going to be fun. So, all right, Terry, shall we secret sauce it here?
I think it's time.
All right, let's do it. All right, for today's yummy hot sauce, I want to share the secret to unlocking achieving your goals. Here's the great part. It's an extremely simple process, but it can be difficult to implement, right? So this is really crucial for success. And here it is, the power of 100% commitment, right? So if something is worth doing, it's actually worth giving 100% of your effort. You know, a 99% commitment is just going to just barely cut it, right? It's that 1% gap that really is the challenge, and it can lead to frustration, failure, disappointment. It's that 1% gap where your internal voice will start to make exceptions. It's where you will justify, make excuses, and put the blame onto something else. You know, you'll wonder why success seems so hard, but the reality is it's a lack of full commitment is why that success seems so out of reach, right? So either you're unwavering or you're not. A person who's 100% committed won't let anything get in between them and their goal. A person who is 99% committed leaves that little window open. So, for example, if a pilot on your plane is only 99% committed to getting you to your destination safely, what are the chances that you're actually going to get on that plane? But, you know, they never know what could happen. So they're just going to give themselves that 1% just in case, right? Or how about those of us that are married or have a partner or significant other? Do you want your partner to be only 99% committed to monogamy? So in the pursuit of our dreams, the secret sauce is nothing less than 100% commitment, whether it's in our personal relationships, professional endeavors, or even life or death situations. It's that unwavering dedication is the key to success. So anything less is going to leave room for doubts, excuses, and failures. So I ask you this, what is holding you back? When you stop wavering and fully concentrate, you'll find that success is not only attainable, but often much easier than realized. So the power of 100% commitment is not just a motivational mantra. It's a practical and essential ingredient. And that's the secret sauce for this week. So enjoy the flavor of success.
That was a good one. I'm really enjoying the secret sauce. And
Yeah.
when you and Eric and I were talking about the intro, and one of us said, "Man, that we should have wings in the intro," and Aaron, you're like, "Hold on,
hold my beer." All right. Well, hey Terry, we got a little bit of time here, and it's been a little while since we've had an opportunity to share what trade shows are coming up. So people, we're getting into the towards the fourth quarter here. So you want to share what's coming up?
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
Into next year. I know we don't really want to talk about that yet, but just in case.
We're talking about being afraid summer's ending, and now you're talking about next year. But the Graphics Pro Expo in Baltimore, by the way, September 13th to 14th has been canceled. So if anybody was planning on heading over there, that is not happening now. The ABC's Design Print Market Workshop at Fort Worth, Texas is September 13th. ABC's easy as 1, 2, 3. You're welcome. Impressions Expo Fort Worth, September 14 through 16. The ASI show Connex Nashville, Tennessee will be October 9th through 12th. Printing United, and we'll all be there as well, and we'll be doing the show live from Printing United. That is in Atlanta, Georgia, October 18th through 20th. ASI Orlando coming right after New Year's, January 3rd through 4th. Impressions Expo Long Beach, and I know I'll be there. I think Eric will be there. Aaron, I'm not sure if you're going to be there or not, but that's probably maybe in the cards, right?
We'll see. Yep.
That is in Long Beach, California, the largest garment show in the country. That's January 19th through 21st. Plus, it'll be nice and toasty warm there in January. International Personalization and Awards Expo in Las Vegas is February 6th through 9th. ASI Fort Worth, back to Texas, March 5th through 6th. And we'll round it out with Impressions Expo Atlantic City, March 21st through 23rd. And Aaron, I just have to add, I have already purchased 2023 Big Book of Travel, or 2024 Big Book of Travel. So I'm getting ready to start filling it in.
You're 100% committed, Terry. I like that.
I am 100% committed, not 99% like that crafty airline pilot.
Yeah, don't fly on that guy's plane. And then Todd is 100% committed to blue cheese on chicken wings. I feel bad for him, but hey, whatever.
Ranch is an affront to God.
Oh my goodness. No. Okay. Eric did say working out an exciting new option for embroidery education in Long Beach. So stay tuned for that. And so looking forward to that. All right, Terry. Well, man, this has been a great show today. We've come to the close of it though here, and all good things must end until next week. So we'll be back next week. And Terry, I want to thank Abby for joining us. I really appreciated her insight, her just being willing to show up and share. And we were actually joking around a little bit, and she's like, how can I win a Reggie Award? I said, well, you got to show up on the show. And she took action, and she took action and got on the schedule. And I'm super proud of her. And it really was a great conversation today, Terry. So make sure you check her out over at Transfer Express over there.
100% agree. That was a great show. So we also want to thank Eric Campbell for turning those knobs and pushing the buttons and trying to anticipate which viewer comment Aaron might reach back far into the show to reference.
I try to make it interesting for Eric. There's never a dull moment around here. So I like that. All right. Well, I'm not sure if it's next week or not. I've got to check the schedule, but at some point it may be the week after. I think next week we're still efforting, but it could be Charlie Tabley this week. I could very well be wrong. So Charlie Tabley's coming up soon, and we're going to be talking about, he's got a new book out, and there may be a trademark infringement story or two from the 1970s. I think what is that called? The statute of limitations has run out on that, so he can talk about it now.
He freely discusses his bootlegging past. So,
and we've got Future Reggie 2023. Go Abbott.
I love it.
Good job.
All right. Until then, I'm Terry Combs. He's Aaron Montgomery.
And that was the Two Regular Guys.
Here we go. We're out.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening to Two Regular Guys. Check out our website at tworegularguys.com. That's the number 2, regularguys.com. You can also interact with us over at our Facebook page, facebook.com/tworegularguys, or send us a tweet, twitter.com/tworegularguys. And we have a YouTube page. You can find all that from our website, tworegularguys.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to spending some time with you again next week.